Good day, everyone. We are the Group 3, and the topic we about to discuss is the biodiversity and the health society. But before that, let me introduce first my team. Lopez, Matin, Hinog, Gapit, Labos, Hersava, and yours truly. Here are the objectives. At the end of this report, you should be able to determine the interrelatedness of society, environment, and health. Show the relatedness of species in forming up a diverse and healthy society without compromising one another, and identify every task and evaluate whether they contribute to the wellness and health of the biodiversity and society or not. Introduction. The decline in biodiversity is a critical global issue caused by human activities, leading to a significant decrease in vertebrate populations and wildlife numbers. The rapid growth of the human population has resulted in industrialization of natural habitats, displacing and endangering wildlife and marine species. This loss of biodiversity could trigger a sixth mass extinction event, disrupting ecosystem and creating environmental instability. Understanding the interconnectedness of society, the environment, and health is crucial to addressing this issue and promoting sustainable practices for the well-being of the planet and its inhabitants. Biodiversity is defined by the Convention on Biological Diversity in 1992, encompasses the variety of life forms on Earth at three levels: species diversity, genetic diversity, and ecosystem diversity. Species diversity refers to the variety of species in an ecosystem. Genetic diversity relates to the variations within a species. And ecosystem diversity includes the diversity of habitats and ecological processes. Protecting biodiversity is essential for ecosystem resilience, adaptation, and overall environmental health, highlighting the interconnectedness of all life forms on the planet. Here are the three levels of biodiversity. Species diversity refers to the variety of living species in a specific region or habitat, with each species representing a group of organisms that share similar characteristics and can interpret. Habitats provide the environments where these species reside, such as tropical rainforests, deserts, and aquatic ecosystems. The Earth is estimated to host a large number of species, with 1.7 million identified out of a potential 5 million to nearly 100 million. However, cataloging all species is challenging, especially for the lower plants, invertebrates, and microorganisms like fungi, protozoans, bacteria, and viruses. Preserving species diversity is vital for ecosystem balance and resilience, highlighting the importance of conservation efforts to protect the diversity of life on Earth. Genetic diversity refers to the range of genetic types of chromosomes present in species within a region, encompassing variations between and within species. It increases with habitat size and is influenced by chromosomes mutations and genetic recombination during their production. Greater genetic diversity enables better adaptation to environmental changes, while reduced diversity limits adaptability. Genetic diversity is crucial for evolution, adaptation, natural selection, species evolution, and agricultural productivity, highlighting its importance in maintaining resilient populations and ecosystems. Ecosystem diversity encompasses the variety of ecosystems in a region, where ecosystems consist of living organisms interacting with non-living elements. This diversity includes terrestrial habitats like forests and deserts, as well as aquatic habitats, such as oceans and lakes. Tropical rainforests covering a small area of the Earth's surface host a significant percentage of plant and animal species, showcasing remarkable biodiversity. One example of ecosystem diversity can be observed in national parks. National parks often contain a variety of ecosystems within their boundaries, showcasing different habitats and species. For instance, Yellowstone National Park in the United States encompasses diverse ecosystems, including alpine meadows, forests, geothermal areas, and rivers. Each of these ecosystems supports a unique set of plant and animal species, contributing to the overall biodiversity of the park. Yellowstone's ecosystem diversity highlights the importance of protected areas in preserving a wide range of habitats and species. Biodiversity encompasses the wide range of life forms on Earth, from microscopic organisms to complex beings, including diversity within species, between species, and of ecosystem across various environments. It is crucial for providing essential goods and services in sectors like foods, agriculture, medicine, and industry. Preserving biodiversity is essential for ecosystem balance, sustainability of resources, and resilience to environmental changes, ensuring a healthy planet for present and future generations.
The Philippines diversity. The Philippines owes an extraordinary level of biodiversity, earning it a place among the world's 17 megadiverse countries, with its 7,641 islands, spanning a total land area of 50 million hectares. It stands as treasure trove of unique species. A staggering 20,000 species of plants and animals calls the Philippines home, with half of them found nowhere else on the planet. The country's flora alone comprises around 7,620 species, with an impressive 5,382 considered endemic. This rich diversity extends to its wildlife as well, with approximately 33% of its flora, 75% of its amphibians, 70% of its reptiles, and 44% of its bird existing exclusively within its borders. Dr. Haney's expedition further unveiled the Philippines' natural wonders, revealing 140 mammal species found nowhere else, including remarkable creatures like the smallest water buffalo, the world's largest rat, and both the largest and the smallest bats. This exceptional biodiversity underscores the Philippines' critical role in global conservation efforts. Changes in biodiversity have a serious implication for both ecosystem and human well-being. Human expansion into natural environments such as forests affect the delicate balance of life by destroying trees and plants during the land clearing activities. This habitat loss causes displacement or death of many species or animals, disrupting the ecosystem balance and harming the food chains. The consequences extend to human health, as disturbance in biodiversity can reduce the availability of critical resources such as clean air, water, and food. Furthermore, problems in ecosystem services such as fertilization and nutrient cycling can have an indirect impact on human health by growing hunger and raising the risk of infectious diseases.
Threats to biodiversity. There are major threats to biodiversity that were identified by the United Nations Environment Programme (WHO) or World Health Organization. Habitat loss and destruction. Major contributing factor is the inhabitation of human beings and the use of land for economic gains. Next is alterations in ecosystem composition. Alterations and sudden changes either within species group or within the environment could begin to change entire ecosystems. Alterations in ecosystems are critical factor contributing to species and habitat loss. Biological systems respond slowly to changes in their surrounding environment. Pollution and contamination cause irreversible damage to species and varieties. Lastly is the global climate change. Both climate variability and climate change cause biodiversity loss. Species and populations may be lost permanently if they are not provided with enough time to adapt to changing climatic conditions.
Edward O. Wilson's estimation of 27,000 species lost annually due to ecosystem destruction underscores a grim reality. Human activities are driving a mass extinction event. Unlike past extinctions caused by cataclysmic events, this one is fueled by human actions like deforestation and habitat destruction. These activities disrupt ecosystems, leading to the loss of biodiversity essential for the planet's health and resilience. This ongoing exploitation of Earth's resources poses a profound threat, potentially surpassing the impacts of past natural disasters. The depletion of global forest cover is a major driver of biodiversity loss. As forests are cleared for agriculture, urbanization, and logging, countless plant and animal species lost their habitats, which leads to a decline in biodiversity. This loss has extensive ecological consequences, disrupting ecosystems, endangering species, and reducing genetic diversity. Conservation efforts are vital to protecting forest ecosystems and preserving biodiversity for the well-being of future generations. By safeguarding forests, we can mitigate the devastating impacts of habitat destruction and ensure the survival of countless species that depend on these vital ecosystems. The decline of forest cover in the Philippines has been primarily caused by activities like logging, agriculture expansion, and urbanization. These activities led to rapid deforestation, destroying critical habitats for many plant and animal species. As a result, biodiversity loss becomes a significant issue, putting endemic species at risk of extinction and disrupting delicate ecosystems. To address this, conservation efforts and sustainable forestry practices are crucial to prevent further biodiversity loss and protect the Philippines' unique natural heritage. Power generation, like making electricity, releases a lot of carbon dioxide, which is a major cause of global warming. This warming affects nature a lot. It messes up habitats, changes weather patterns, and disturbs ecosystems. Because of this, many plants and animals are in danger of dying out because they can't adapt fast enough to the changes. To help, we need to switch to cleaner energy sources like wind and solar power and use energy more efficiently. This will cut down on carbon emissions and protect biodiversity. Biodiversity loss presents significant threats to both ecosystems and human health. The main drivers of this loss encompass habitat destruction, pollution, climate change, overexploitation of natural resources, and invasive species. As ecosystems degrade and species disappear, essential ecosystem services such as clean air and water, pollination, and disease regulation are compromised. This not only impacts wildlife populations, but also heightens the risk of zoonotic diseases, pathogens transmitted from animals to humans, posing public health hazards. Addressing these threats to biodiversity is paramount for protecting both natural world and human well-being. The diversity and composition of species within an ecosystem directly impact its productivity and resilience. Different species contribute to nutrient cycling, soil health, and the regulation of environmental factors like water availability and climate. For example, plants play a crucial role in capturing energy from the sun through photosynthesis and stabilizing soil, while animals aid in nutrient cycling through processes like decomposition and pollination. When an ecosystem is disrupted by human activities or natural disasters, the intricate web of interactions among species can be disturbed, leading to imbalances and negative consequences for both the environment and human well-being. Protecting intact ecosystems is essential for maintaining the services they provide, such as clean water and air, climate regulation, and food production. Intact ecosystems are like well-oiled machines, where each organism plays a specific role in maintaining balance and functionality. These organisms are finely tuned to interact with each other and their environment in a way that optimizes the capture, transfer, and utilization of energy and nutrients.
Nutrition and biodiversity are linked at many levels. The ecosystem, with food production as an ecosystem service, the species in the ecosystem, and the genetic diversity within the species. Nutritional composition between foods and among varieties. Cultivars, breeds of the same food can differ dramatically, affecting micronutrient availability in the diet. Healthy local diets with adequate average levels of nutrients intake necessitates maintenance of high biodiversity levels, intensified and enhanced food production through irrigation, use of fertilizer, plant protection, or the introduction of crop varieties and cropping patterns affect biodiversity and thus impact global nutritional status and human health. Habitat simplification, species loss, and species succession often enhance communities' vulnerabilities as a function of environmental receptivity to ill health. Biodiversity provides a wide array of foods including fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and animal products. Each of these food items offers different combinations of essential nutrients like vitamins, minerals, proteins, and fats. Consuming a diverse diet from various species ensures that we obtain a broad spectrum of nutrients necessary for maintaining good health. Different species contain varying levels of nutrients. For example, some vegetables might be richer in certain vitamins or minerals compared to others. By consuming a diverse range of foods, we can optimize our nutrient intake and reduce the risk of deficiencies. Within species, there's also genetic diversity leading to variations in nutritional content. For instance, different varieties of apples or tomatoes may have different levels of antioxidants or other beneficial compounds. This genetic diversity allows us to select foods with specific nutritional benefits. Biodiversity is crucial for maintaining healthy ecosystem, including those that support agriculture. Healthy ecosystems provide essential services like pollination, soil fertility, and pest control, which directly impact the quantity and quality of food produced. For example, bees and other pollinators are essential for the production of many fruits and vegetables. Overall, biodiversity is essential for ensuring a nutritious and sustainable food supplies, preserving diverse ecosystem and species is vital for both human and the health of the planet. Habitat destruction stands as one of the foremost pressures driving biodiversity loss worldwide. The relentless expansion of human activities, including urbanization, agriculture, and deforestation, and infrastructure development, has led to the widespread alternation and fragmentation of natural habitats. Habitat destruction directly diminishes the available living space and resources for countless species, disrupting the intricate web of life that sustain biodiversity. Native habitats ranging from forests and wetlands to grassland and coral reefs provide essential conditions for the survival, reproduction, and evolution of diverse organisms. When these habitats are destroyed or degraded, species face increased competition for dwindling resources, heightened vulnerability to predation and disease, and reduced opportunities for migration and dispersal. Invasive alien species represent a significant pressure on biodiversity, posing threats to ecosystem, native species, and ecological processes worldwide. These non-native organisms introduced intentionally or unintentionally by human activities can outcompete native species, disrupt ecological interactions, and alter habitats, leading to profound consequences for biodiversity. Invasive alien species can outcompete native species for resources such as food, water, and shelter, leading to declines in native population and changes in community composition. These invaders often possess traits such as rapid growth, high reproductive rates, and efficient resources utilization, allowing them to establish dominance in new environments. For example, invasive plants like kudzu or water hyacinth can form dense monocultures, displacing native vegetation and reducing habitat sustainability for other species. High population density and growth rates exert significant pressure on biodiversity, posing threats to ecosystem, species, and natural resources upon which human societies depend. As a human population expand and urbanize, then consume more resources, encroach upon natural habitats, and intensify environmental degradation, leading to profound consequences for biodiversity. High population density increase the demand for land, water, food, and energy, leading to the conversion and fragmentation of natural habitats. Urban sprawl, agricultural expansion, and infrastructure development often result in the loss of biodiversity-rich ecosystems such as forests, wetlands, and grasslands. Habitat fragmentation isolates population, reduces genetic diversity, and disrupts ecological processes such as migration, pollination, and seeds dispersal, leading to declines in species richness and abundance. Climate change stands as one of the most significant pressures driving biodiversity loss and ecosystem degradation on global scale. Human-induced alterations to the Earth climate systems, primarily through the emission of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane, are leading to change in temperature, precipitation patterns, sea levels, and extreme weather events. These changes have profound consequences for biodiversity, disrupting ecosystem, altering species disruption, and threatening the survival of countless plant and animal species. Climate change exacerbates existing environmental pressures and threats to biodiversity such as habitat loss, fragmentation, and degradation. Rising temperature and changing precipitation patterns can exacerbate the efforts of habitat destruction and fragmentation, reducing the availability of sustainable habitats for many species. Coastal habitats such as coral reefs, mangroves, and salt marshes are particularly vulnerable to climate change. Indeed, the sea level rise in ocean acidification, leading to habitat loss and biodiversity declines in this critical ecosystem.
Illegal wildlife trade. According to ASEAN, when Wildlife Enforcement Network, 100 million animals are being hunted for their meat. Illegal wildlife trade, which directly reduces biodiversity, is valued at $10 to $20 billion. Illegal wildlife trade is like a ruthless market where animals are hunted in huge numbers for profit. This harms both the animals and nature's balance by reducing biodiversity. This billion-dollar industry is causing irreversible damage to our planet. Deficiencies in the knowledge of biodiversity. Public awareness and education on the importance of biodiversity are necessary to conserve it. Raising consciousness among individuals and communities may help in addressing threats to the Earth's biodiversity and improving natural ecosystems. Understanding why biodiversity matters is key to protecting it. By spreading the word and educating people about its importance, we can tackle the threats it faces and help restore natural ecosystems. It's all about raising awareness and inspiring action to safeguard the diversity of life on Earth. Inadequate enforcement of environmental laws and poor political will. Regulations, policies, and laws have been enacted to preserve the environment. However, they are not properly enforced. Despite having rules in place to protect the environment, they often go unenforced. This is largely due to a lack of political commitment and will. So, while there are laws to safeguard nature, without proper enforcement, they are just words on paper, unable to effectively shield our planet from harm. Failure to put value on the environment. According to the study, the value of the world's ecosystem services and natural capital, published in Nature in 1997, the value of ecosystem services amount to $33 trillion per year, and majority of the value of these services is outside the market system. We often overlook the value of nature's services, like clean air, water, and fertile soil, which are crucial for our survival. A study found that these services are worth $33 trillion annually, but most of this value isn't reflected in our economic systems. Essentially, we're not giving the nature the credit it deserves, which could lead to underestimating its importance and neglecting its protection. Almost all living organisms are dependent on their environment to live and reproduce. Basic needs of living organisms, such as air, water, food, and habitat, are provided by its environment. The evolution of human beings was due to the improved access to these basic needs. Advances in agriculture, sanitation, water treatment, and hygiene have had a far greater impact on human health than medical technology. Similar to our need for a cozy home, great food, clean water, and new air to remain healthy and happy, all living animals, from little bugs to huge elephants, also rely on their environment for these basics. As humans evolved, we learned to form our lives way better by finding more intelligent ways to produce or induce these basic needs to be met. Things like developing food, keeping our environment clean, and making beyond any doubt we have secure water to drink have actually had a greater impact on keeping us healthy than favor medical contraptions. So, in a way, our connection to our environment is just like the extreme life of support system. Environmental hazard increase the risk of cancer, heart disease, asthma, and many mucous illnesses. These hazards of cancer, heart disease, toxic chemicals, and food contaminants can be physical, such as pollution, dangerous work, poor housing conditions, urban sprawl, and poverty. Unsafe drinking water and poor sanitation and the spray are responsible for a variety of infectious diseases, such as unhygiene are responsible for meningitis and gastritis. In 2015, approximately 350,000 children under the age of 5, mostly in the developing world, die. 350,000 children are related to unsafe drinking water, and approximately 1.8 billion people used drinking water contaminated with feces. More than 2 billion people lacked access to basic sanitation. So, just imagine your body as a delicate balance, and the environment around you as either helping or harming that balance. Hazards like pollution, tough working conditions, and living in rundown areas can throw your body off balance, making you more prone to serious illnesses like cancer, heart problems, and asthma. Even basic things like dirty water and poor hygiene can lead to dangerous infections, especially for kids. Sadly, in some parts of the world, many children suffer because they don't have clean water to drink or proper toilets to use. It's like trying to stay healthy while walking through a minefield. Without the right precautions, it's really tough. The interrelation between human health and biological diversity is considerable and complex. With the current biodiversity loss at unprecedented rates, the delicate balance between human health and biological diversity is at risk. So, just think of it like a giant puzzle. A human well-being and the variety of life on Earth, called biodiversity, fit together like pieces. When we lose pieces in natural habitats at such quick rates, it's like pulling out a vital piece of that puzzle. This puts the adjustment between our well-being and nature at risk. Each plant, creature, and biological system plays a part in keeping us healthy, from giving medications to decontaminating our air and water. So, when we disrupt this adjustment, it's like playing with fire, risking our own well-being within the process.
Environment-related illnesses. Environment-related illnesses refers to health conditions that are influenced or caused by exposure to environmental factors. These factors can include physical, chemical, and biological agents present in the environment. Environment-related illnesses can affect both individuals of all ages and can have both short-term and long-term effect on health. These illnesses can cover a wide range of conditions, including respiratory diseases like asthma and lung cancer, cardiovascular diseases, certain types of cancer, neurological disorders, allergies and asthma, waterborne diseases, and vector-borne diseases transmitted by insects or other vectors. Exposure to environmental pollutants such as air pollutants, toxic chemicals, pesticides, heavy metals, and contaminated water sources can contribute to the development or worsen of these illnesses. Climate change and its associated impacts such as extreme weather events, changing temperature patterns, and altered ecosystem, it also poses a significant threat to both human health and the environment, impacting farming systems and reducing nutrient level in foods. Protecting biodiversity such as coral reefs is crucial for mitigating risks like floods. Balancing the benefits and risks associated with the environmental and health issue is crucial. For example, while pesticides can increase crop yields, they also have adverse effect on human health and the environment. Similarly, energy production sustains human life, but can contribute to pollution and habitat destruction. Reducing greenhouse gas emission to combat global warming presents economic challenges. When addressing environmental health concerns, it is important to consider vulnerable population who may be more harmed to environmental risk. Ethical considerations such as protecting human subjects in research and balancing individual rights with societal well-being plays a crucial role in decision-making processes. Implementing environmental health regulations should prioritize the protection of vulnerable populations and stick to ethical practices. Comprehensive strategies are needed to prioritize both human health and environmental sustainability while taking into account ethical, social, and legal consideration.